It's wintertime now, which means cold air, snow, and little in the way of severe weather activity, but that also means it's time to review the storm season. And storm season 2022 had some problems, to say the least. We had challenges, we had little in the way of activity at points of the year, and we had problems outside of the season. But as usual, the season wasn't completely dead. And so in this video, we're going to take a little bit of a different approach than previous years. We're looking at the good points and the bad points of the 2022 storm season. Sit back, and I hope you enjoy. The broadest problem with the 2022 storm season was that it sucked. There were no tornado watches issued in northern Indiana, few severe weather events, and the season died in certain points of the year when it should have been active. We had a dry early summer, we had very little May to April activity, and no second season events. Even in the most active part of the year, severe thunderstorms seemed uncommon in northern Indiana, including this failed severe weather day in mid-May. There was also an incident where I missed out on the derecho by misjudging its track. However, we did have a spectacular mamadas display with weather earlier in the day. I'm here to tell you that there's more than corn in Indiana. We also have mamadas clouds. A good thing about the season was that it got off to a fairly early start. The season started out with a March 5th tornado outbreak which initiated in Iowa, causing an EF4 tornado which was on the ground for almost 70 miles. But this stretched into the early morning of March 6th, with a severe squall line pushing through Illinois toward Indiana. There we got a little bit of lightning on the horizon now, as these thunderstorms, wow, yep. And with that, we are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. That looks a lot like power flashes. Yep, definite power flashes northwest. Stared right into the face of the first shelf of the year. With severe winds and power flashes, this gave the first severe thunderstorm of the season with this powerful squall line. And I even had an encounter with some pretty decent hail in this never before seen encounter on April 11th. And what a way to start off the year 2022 storm season with an unexpected marble-sized hailstorm. These are nice. One very prominent negative aspect of the season was no tornadoes and very few supercells. There were very few tornadoes in the region at all, with only 2 of them in northern Indiana, and again, no tornado watches. This also came with very few supercells, dashing my hopes for epic storms like July 10th, 2017, August 24th, 2016, or even June 18th of 2021. However, it wasn't completely inactive. I did manage to chase a small supercell in northern Miami County on June 12th, just one day before the derecho event. It's very humid out here, but that storm, you see that lowering back there, the storm has been showing some increasing rotation recently, so this is a supercell. Well, there's the supercell. Once we got into a area that we could see it a little better, the wall cloud died, but there was a wall cloud on it. Some things you encounter in storm chasing in Indiana. Gravel, roads. There was also a weak supercell day on July 24th. These storms had some weak rotation with them, but a few ingredients were off, which otherwise would have probably supported a more significant tornado event right in my face. There may not have been very many supercells, but there were an abundance of shelf clouds in storm season 2022, particularly later in the summer. July and August featured many epic shelf clouds, including this shelf cloud from the evening of July 17th. It's been a really difficult storm season, so moments like this, really nice. Even if it's not severe, a storm doesn't have to be severe to be beautiful. We also had a nice shelf cloud on August 3rd, which was on the 5-year anniversary of the storm I filmed in 2017, and also had similar amazing asperatus clouds. Here we are, about to be engulfed by this shelf cloud here. You can see quite clearly this region of the storm, this whole region from here downward, the asperatus portion of it, that is immediately behind the shelf. Massive instability but weak shear also yielded a pretty good shelf cloud on August 29th. These storms weren't always severe, but they were beautiful. Compared to previous years, I had fewer lightning opportunities this storm season, which reflects the below average storm activity overall. The lightning did pick up later in the summer, but just wasn't as good as what I would have experienced in previous years, including 2021. However, there was an epic grand finale to lightning season, with a tremendous display on August 29th. After the storms earlier in the day, a cluster of severe storms set up over Clinton County, Indiana. Now looking west at a thunderstorm cluster which has been warned for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds that is moving southeast. Big ol' storm here. You can see roll cloud or something ahead of it. What followed was a fantastic combination of ammo crawlers and cloud-to-ground strikes. Those cloud-to-ground strikes are really bright. They seem to be clustered to the south, so at my particular location, I'm doing pretty good. None of these power flashes, just an extremely electrical storm that we're looking at right here. Just fantastic. Oh, that was a big one, and more cloud ground. These cloud ground strikes seem to be getting closer. Standing underneath this portion of the storm in the rain, with the wind blowing and lightning flashing all above my head and in front of me, this was one of my favorite moments of the entire season. Just a spectacular moment of experiencing nature's raw power. What a tremendous and fantastic way to end lightning season 2022. That's all I could have asked for. As with some previous seasons, July really turned things around for the season overall. We saw a sudden increase in activity, starting with July 6th. This early morning spectacle was a sight to behold. Other events like July 24th supercells and other shelf clouds occurred, but the best came with what I would come to call the Great Shelf Cloud of 2022. Simply a fantastic but modest display going on this morning in northern Indiana, ahead of an organizing MCS which began overnight in northern Illinois and is now progressing down here, and the whole sky is full of these vivid modest clouds. It is fantastic, and they're getting more organized as time goes on, as this system becomes more organized. Before I knew it, I was face to face with an absolutely incredible shelf cloud dragging the ground with incredible striated structure and amazingly dark clouds on the back side of it. As you can see behind me, shelf cloud of the year, maybe shelf cloud of the decade is coming in right now. Absolutely sculpted, magnificent striations developing. This is truly fantastic. I don't even have words for it. I should be filming more. Unbelievable. Severe storms coming through northern Indiana this morning. Hey, that shelf cloud just came through, and now strong winds are on their way, and quick. Insane. Absolutely insane. And over here. A train of severe thunderstorms continued battering the area for hours, making it an even more amazing day. But the shelf cloud really stood out to me and still stands out as my favorite storm of the season. Throughout the season, there were other events, some of which were good and some were bad, but they were parts of the season nonetheless and helped to tell what my experiences were. One interesting aspect was the abundance of dust devils in May, an experience which I had filmed before, but this season really tried to track. Another interesting event took place on May 21st when an unexpected gustnado ripped through northern Indiana. In this never-before-seen video from a nearby security camera, you can actually see the gustnado spin up and impact nearby locations. I estimated wind speeds in these areas were about 70 miles per hour, perhaps locally higher. over, I went to check out the damage. Summer had some challenging times, including in June when I contracted everybody's favorite respiratory virus.
Oh, here we are, 3 days into COVID, and so far things seem to be going pretty well.
My quick recovery allowed me to get back into chasing pretty soon. And although the second season didn't really yield severe weather activity up in this part of Indiana, we did have a strong wind day, which blew corn leaves around like crazy, and to this day, has still piled them up in many places. Knocked my tripod over. There's a cord stuck in it. It was certainly an interesting experience, and with that magnificent sky-encompassing sunset, the season came to an end. The 2022 storm season was not my worst storm season, but it was pretty close to it. At least it wasn't 2018. It felt like there were more negative aspects than positive aspects, and that there were fewer severe weather events to get on than, say, years like 2021, or especially years like 2019. But for those moments I was able to experience, I am very thankful. And I'm thankful for my interactions with all of you, in YouTube and elsewhere, this season and in previous seasons, and I look forward to more extensive interactions with you, because I promise you this. I have only just begun my experiences in filming severe weather and sharing it with all of you. In the future, 2023 and beyond, I will be encountering many more storms, much more vicious storms, more photogenic storms, and broadening my area, experiencing chases with others and across different regions of the country. Those days will feature some spectacular adventures on this channel, and I look forward to sharing them with you. But until then, try to stay warm and look forward to storm season 2023. This is Storm Chaser Ethan B, wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I filmed most of that was across most of the sky. Also, I apologize for that weird vacuum noise.